evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hard-boiled Haggerty in the ring now.
Today's the heyday of the pretty boy. Kowalski is called killer for Dr. Gene Stanley of Chicago.
She likes it. Oh, boy, that can hurt.
Right here at ringside while we go in for a riot of roughhouse that's flatly called wrestling.
The Iron Sheik's unquestionable strength in the wrestling arena is due in large part to his Iranian heritage. To find his actual roots, we must travel to the old Persian Empire of Iran. It is here, in the village of Damghan, a town situated just 100 miles from the Iranian capital of Tehran, that on the 9th of September 1942, the Iron Sheik was born and was named Hossein Khosrow Vaziri. His father Asham and mother Marga were hard-working pistachio farmers. The Iron Sheik, who his friends knew as Koz, together with his 3 brothers and a sister, all helped out on the family farm.
We raised pistachio, Persian pistachio, and also grapes and watermelon, whatever. Their job was farming, the farmer people. My mother, father, and background, and brother, I had Ali and Muhammad and Hassan and Ali and Masumi, my sister. And I was maybe 5 years old.
At the time of his birth, World War II was in its 3rd year. And just a year prior to Koz's birth, the Shah of Iran had failed to expel all Axis nationals, which had led to an Allied occupation of Tehran. The Shah had then abdicated in favor of the Crown Prince Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Across Europe, Hitler's forces had what looked like a stranglehold. And by the fall of 1942, Germany and its Axis friends ruled an empire that stretched from the gates of Moscow to the shores of the Atlantic, from the deserts of Africa to the Arctic Ocean. In Bombay, India, Mahatma Gandhi's plea to end English rule provoked fierce riots. While on the home front, kids in Britain and North America cheered on their movie hero Flash Gordon as he endlessly fought the planet Mongo's master villain, Ming.
Captain Ronald. Let me talk to him. Listen, Ming. If you harm Dale Arden, I'll come there and kill you with my bare hands.
I am not interested or disturbed by the ravings of a madman. Dale has not been harmed. She will tell you so herself. Step here, my child.
Blanche, get me out of here. Get me out.
Dale, listen to me. Don't be afraid. We'll get you out somehow.
The Vaziri family were far removed from these events, and by the time Koz had reached the age of 6, his family had left the farm and relocated in the city of Tehran.
We had a gym business. People come work hard and training, and then have a good shower, sauna, massage, physical therapy. My father and mother, they had a business. I was 7 years old. Most famous sport in Persia at that time, that age, was a freestyle wrestling and Greco-Roman, and a lot of champions come to my club of the father. I started wrestling in old country Tehran because only wish I had in my life to be someday world champion, Olympic champion, because it was a very popular sport that times in Iran, capital of the Iran, Tehran, and I was lucky. I was around a bunch of great wrestler, and that was my hobby, and that was my #1 major sport in the high school, wrestling. 1964 Tokyo, Japan, the greatest champion we had, Ghulam Reza Takhti. And besides the wrestling, people love Takhti because Takhti like was Jesus, like Muhammad, like the what I call Michael Jordan for wrestling sport. That much people respect Takhti. He was the greatest human being we had in the Persian history. Besides wrestling, he was the biggest babyface, biggest human being with a heart. And then they said Takhti commit suicide. That's against my religious, to Takhti commit suicide. So I'll be honest with you, since Takhti died or killed the Takhti, sport to me was nothing like before. But still, I cannot forget about my sport, wrestling. So that's why I said I'm going to compete. I'm going to still love my sport, wrestling, but different country. I was lucky I made it to Minnesota, to America. I was an AAU champion besides Iranian Olympic wrestling champion, #1, toughest sport in the world. That's because I go in the ring, I wear that Iranian Olympic wrestling singlet, and also I wear America, and I love wrestling. And only thing I did all my life, Ya Allah, Ya Muhammad, Ya Ali. Like I was lucky I grew up in the oldest country in the world, Iran, with the freestyle and Greco-Roman toughest sport in the world game and Olympic game and army. And I come to the Minnesota, which was good first year. So I was a coach, assistant coach, assistant Mr. Alan Rice too. I make the team be the best for amateur. But later on I found out it's good to have that gold medal. Always is there. People never forgot. But I found that I cannot eat the gold medal. If I take it to the supermarket, I cannot get a banana or an apple with my gold medal. So I decided to go professional to make better living.
The way I first met my husband was one evening. A good friend of mine, Gene Kacholik, and I were at our favorite hangout called The Left Guard, which was a bar restaurant in Minneapolis where all the famous sports celebrities would always go to in the evenings. And she and I were there that evening, and we were just standing around talking to one another, and my husband-to-be, Kaz, came up and introduced himself. And what really struck me about him was his great looks, but also the fact that he was foreign. So that really intrigued me, and I felt like I need to know this guy. I need to give him more than the simple brush off like you normally would anyone who comes up to you. And it worked out really great, and we've been together ever since.
Vastly increased the fortune of the last Shah of Iran. His dynasty dated all the way back to 1925.